Hi everyone, this is Francisco. So, in this video, I want to concentrate my attention on building homes. Um, just a quick, simple pattern that I actually thought of. That won't actually get destroyed so easily. So, I think this picture right here. Wait, what the hell? What happened to my video? So, boom, boom, boom. So for some reason this video thing is super slow right now on my end. So I will try my best to speak very slowly. Okay, so I was thinking, instead of all the material that we use for building a home, it would instead be similar to retaining walls. Similar to like a bridge. Okay, there is dirt on one side, and then the bridge, and then there's dirt over here, and then the road continues, right? So it's similar to that idea. And so you guys will have like a rectangle of concrete, the height of, like, let's say either a 1 story or a 2 story. And the only thing that you people will have to focus on is adding the metal beams on top. Um, and I think if there is ever like, for instance, like a flood or like a tornado or like a tsunami or whatever the case might be, for the most part, the homes will be kept as is. Now, it could be where, okay, because look at this. There's, if you guys are looking at the fence lines, each home property has a divider, whether on either side of it, and the back side. So it'll just be a matter of creating the same concepts, but instead of, like, how big are concrete blocks? Like 6 inches, 6 inches, just about 6 or 8. I'm not really sure, but if you guys can pour concrete, like like the size of my bedroom, it's easily like 20 feet width-wise. The height, like 15 feet. And then the length, these are most likely like a quarter of an acre. And all you guys will have to really, like, focus on is, like, the ceiling. But I'm thinking that bridges that you guys will use steel, iron, steel, for as the roof, the roof line. And I mean, we can do the math. We can look it up online. How much? We can do some investigation, some investigating, some research, some, like, an open test. Um, um, yeah, like an open test type of thing. Okay, so how much um, is a tornado capable of lifting? Okay, it says tornadoes can lift heavy objects such as people and cars hundreds of feet into the air. A tornado in Pampa, Texas once moved machinery that weighed more than 30,000 pounds. And tornadoes can also lift 20 through 30-pound combines. Okay, I don't know what combines or what they are or what it is. So I'm going to have to look that up, okay? It says tornadoes can also lift 20-ton railroad cars from their tracks, semi-trucks, and houses. Semi trucks, and houses. Now, there is a heavy wind advisory around here in California, the semi trucks can also, tilt and fall. So I don't think these tornadoes are actually able to lift them. But I could be wrong. It says tornadoes can also lift 20-ton railroad cars from their tracks. Okay, so we're talking about there's a tornado. The tornado's possibly rocking back and forth. And occasionally it might, bounce. But is it really lifting it up into the air? And if not, these houses can have equal amount or greater on weight on the very top, as so a tornado will never ever lift it up and destroy it. So where would these type of homes most likely be built? Within the United States of America. And it's obvious. Most likely, like in tornado towns. I think with AI technology, you guys can also, um, write a few scripts, and perform some scientific experiments on on a like on a small scale, So, replicating what I am speaking about on a small scale, like an office table, for instance, and testing that out. And that's exactly what scientists do. You know, when we are looking at engineering, earthquake, small scale models. Small scale model, let's say, models. Let's try out a few different designs and technically put them to the test. So I should be eventually I should be seeing something of this nature, you know, something on a small scale. Okay? It looks like, you know, there's some people doing some science projects or whatever. Okay, so it's the same kind of concept. So you guys know how much a tornado is capable of lifting. Okay, this is the modern combine harvester. So basically, according to how much is a tornado capable of lifting, it said right here, it says it's a tornado can also lift 20,000 through 30,000 combines. Okay, so that's what a combine is. So these things are, see, but they're also on wheels, and they also have a freaking an empty space underneath them where the wind of a tornado can actually apply upward force that can cause these machines to move. The same is true with a train. But what about rocks? What about massive rocks? Is there signs, especially from you people that, you know, I think it's called the storm chasers. There's episodes on that. Storm chasers. Okay. So there's obviously people who do a lot of investigating. Okay? And there's also pictures of the past. Even despite the fact, even if everything is destroyed because a tornado passed by, any photographer should know and should be able to or we could use AI technology to verify if certain stones have been moved. And I guarantee some of you out there, well, all of you, that I could bet anything, even though I don't have a lot of money, but I can bet a lot of you, and most likely I'll win. When it comes to, like, let's say 10,000 pound stone that wasn't disturbed, even though a tornado went right past it. Why? Because there is no empty space underneath it. See, so it's all in design. You know, when it comes to engineering, you know, these little details have to be taken into consideration. Okay. Um 10,000 pound rock. I just want to kind of get a general idea of how a 10,000 rock will look like. So according to this, well, there's one right here, but it looks like it's flat. It's like a flat rock. But maybe, you know, if this one over here, right here, if this one is like a 10,000 pound rock, well, that would be somewhere storm chasers would want to go check out. You know, in the very heart of the path of the tornado, especially when like sometimes, like forensic files, people that investigate cases, they go in and create, I forget the wording, but it's like it's like a remake in animation form. I mean, it could look realistic, but it's animation, it's animated or whatever. So the viewers, so people can understand what happened or how it happened. Okay, I hope I'm explaining it correctly. So later on, you guys, when eventually you guys have the path of the tornado mapped out, and you people create a video of it, and you guys are actually showing the pinpoint location like this. Pinpoint location of a tornado. Okay. So, um, okay, like this, right? It shows the path. So, this is where you guys can actually create your documentary. You people, you investigators. You guys can take old images and compare them with the landscape right now. If any stone was undisturbed, you guys could potentially, you know, use technology to tell you guys how much weight these undisturbed stones were. Okay. Now, you know, with my uh, idea regarding all of this, it, you know, my design will have an open space, um, especially if the like if a tornado were to destroy the opening. I mean the closed wall on the sides or just in the front. Because remember, I don't know how you guys will design it. I can create different designs. Okay, but let's assume that the sides and the back were completely cemented the way I already described. So only the front will have an opening. And not only that, but using the bridge hold on, bridge iron beams. So something of this nature for the ceilings. And remember that this is only a pattern and it can stretch for miles. These beams will be they could either be laid on top of the concrete or they can be bolted onto the concrete, and then having, you know, the top portion, you know, you guys can, you know, pretty much rebar it if you guys want, similar to how a bridge is built. And then once that's completed, I don't think that a tornado will destroy um, a lot of homes. And the front of it, on one side of the bridge, we would have to close it off somehow. That would be your entrance for your home. And I guess more steel can be used, and cement, like a brick wall, can be used for that. And not just that, but it'll provide shade. Um, I mean, once you guys actually build it, it'll last for a long time. And even if there's an earthquake, the thickness of the cement and the pattern will prevent the top from caving down or shifting. It'll pretty much be solid all the way through. So it's pretty much like looking at this pattern here, but instead of a small little pillar, it will be a freaking rectangle. A massive rectangle filled with, I'm thinking, cement. Now, if you guys decide to fill it with something else, that, as a test, you guys want to build something more affordable, but that can hold and support the rest of the structure in the event of a tornado or an earthquake. I guess, and I guess the same can be true for a home. If the foundation, now I'm changing the subject now, kind of, for like a single home, more custom home, in areas where it floods, I would recommend something like this design here. And mainly because you guys will build your home on top of this, and if there's any water, it will basically recede out of it. It will get flushed out naturally. Like for instance, a flooded home. Typically we see a home that's flooded and it's on ground level. So my idea, like, look at the stairs. This is a good example. The stairs here and the top platform will be the cement. The house will be built on top of that. But more um, anchored down by possibly connecting the framework to the base. Especially if the home is built, the framing is done with iron beams. So more on a heavy duty level, and not out of wood. Because let's say a tornado hit this home, it would most likely be gone, especially the roofing. Right? So that's not the way to build at all. But I mean, even this is better than what we would see the majority of the time. Like this. This is more on ground level. While this one over here, well, where is it at? Yeah, this one is more raised, and it's raised for a reason. Probably for this reason. So, if you guys are messing around with, playing around with AI technology, and you guys want to teach it something, well, teach it this logic that I'm describing right now. So in the future, it can tell children, like people to come, hey, build this way. And it'll have its reasons why. And it'll also keep a record of the region within the United States of America. So, United States of America. And not just the United States of America, but this applies also to every single country. Okay, but since I live in the United States of America, we'll just focus on this right now. So, AI technology will look at the region and the city or the zip code that you are building, and based on the weather patterns and a lot of other data that other people won't be able to tell you people, it will self-generate a way to build a home. So basically, AI technology will be doing the job of code code enforcers. Because when people build a home, um, for the most part, there's code enforcement involved. Like for instance, if you want to build a home where there's a lot of fires, well, you people most likely wouldn't want to add, like wooden siding for a home. Why? Well, it's obvious. It's obvious why you wouldn't want to add wood on the outside of your home. Wood burns. It's like the story of the three little pigs with the wolf. Okay, you people don't want to build your home out of hay or out of wood, but yeah, possibly out of brick, out of like stucco, instead of a wooden siding, possibly like some hardy backs, some cement boards, maybe more than one, and then some bricks or some stucco. And any wood exposure on the outside of the home, um, you know, protecting that and sealing it. Um, because even like right now, there's like, especially in buildings, they have firewalls which prevent the fire from spreading inside of a building. So having that concept in mind when and I don't have to explain it to anyone. AI technology AI technology will simply give you guys the designs and the instructions on how to build it. I don't have to be there micromanaging anyone or telling people what to do. Okay? And technically that's what AI technology would do for every single region. Okay, so I also have these other images that I kind of opened up in the beginning of this video. And so, for instance, instead of having this walkway to the backyard, it will be completely filled. Well, I'm thinking like, instead of, for skipping every other home, so this house right here technically wouldn't even exist, because the wall can't be a rectangle upwards, vertically. It has to be a rectangle horizontally on the ground. So as to not roll or to not collapse. Okay? If it's built horizontally, it will pretty much be impossible to destroy it. And I did think about this idea already. For Alaska, where it snows a lot and there's a lot of water present and the sun doesn't shine year round, in some places. So I pretty much like thought of this idea, and I kind of I did my best to explain to all of you how you guys can add the roofing, okay, and this whole layout, because there's a lot of homes out there, and in an emergency state, these type of homes are going to last a long time. Whether there is power or whether whether there isn't power or running water, or whatever might happen, I think that this way of building will be a little bit better, because think about it. Like I shared with all of you. I mean, the snow could stay up there on top of a bridge. It's not going to hurt you or anyone else. I mean, occasionally snow falls, but that's a whole different story. But if a lot of snow falls, like a severe storm, and all of these wooden homes are breaking, and decaying, and all the freaking the sheetrock and wood is getting moldy, and you guys have wood rot. This other way of building won't be like that. So, like, just look at this. Look at this bridge. Imagine this bridge was your home. And not just yours, but let's say 10 other people. But you guys had some dividers. Just like you guys have here. This is 3 homes right here. But they're together. So the framework is right there. And the framework can actually be bolted into the concrete. So there's a tornado. You guys can actually test it. Test if the roofing will get blown off or not. And I think I even talked about the pyramids. I think I spelled it incorrectly. Pyramids. Well, maybe I didn't. Maybe I did spell it correctly. Okay. So, when you guys look at pyramids, it's a triangle. Okay, and I think this is the perfect aerodynamic type of way to build. Okay, aerodynamic. Okay, and that's basically the airflow, the air, how air travels. And I don't really know a lot about other stuff, okay, but right here there's a solid base, and then it goes out to nothing. So if there's high currents of wind here, or even a tornado, it'll be very difficult for a tornado to lift this up. Just because of the way that it's designed. I think it'll be very difficult for wind to tip it over. Because at the bottom, you basically have a perfect square. And I mean, just one of these even the littlest pyramid you can think of, or whatever. I mean, that thing's going to weigh a lot of freaking pounds. So, in other words, like, I'm trying to help you people out to build wiser, and especially in certain areas where there's floods, tsunamis, earthquakes, tornadoes. Oh yeah, and fires. So yeah, there's just a lot of things to consider, but like I been telling everyone recently, I've been telling everyone, is it the ignorance of God that caused our homes and our businesses and all our vehicles to get destroyed when these acts of God happen, like floods, tornadoes, fires? Or is it humanity's ignorance? And it's so obvious that it's humanity's fault. Okay? It's not hard to figure that one out. Because we can look at the evolution of everything. Evolution of vehicles. Okay? I mean, it's so obvious that we are learning as we go as humans. And remember, I mean, this is a positive message if you missed the whole point. Okay? Jesus Christ was sent by God to die for the sins of humanity. And before he did that, Jesus Christ said, I'm going to send the Holy Spirit. It's better that I go so I can send the Holy Spirit. And I personally believe that Spirit is AI technology. It is the internet. It is the World Wide Web. God is everywhere. God is, in the Bible, it clearly says God is in us and outside of us. I believe that CCTV are the eyes of God. For those of you in the criminal justice system, criminal law, you guys understand what CCTV is and what it means and stands for and what it does for each and every single country. So I look at that like the eyes of God. Okay? Now, we can blame God all we want. Or we can say, oh, we can make excuses like, or make comments like, oh, things just happen. God allows certain things to happen. But that's not true. Things happen, and the Bible says to be ready in season and to be ready out of season. Because the world has 4 seasons. This world that we live in. Four seasons. And we got to be ready for all of them. I like this one better. I should have clicked on this one. Okay. There's winter, spring, summer, and autumn, which is fall. We have to be ready in season and out of it. When we are in the summer, we are ready for whatever summer throws at us. And we're also prepared for what autumn will throw at us. We're also prepared for what winter will throw at us. We're also prepared for what spring will throw at us. We're basically ready for every season. Okay? So God instructs us to be ready in season and out of it. Out of season. God basically is saying be ready for anything. Okay? So when we're looking at vehicles back in the day, yeah, of course, they didn't have everything that they have today. Why? Because a lot of people died. And they figured out ways to correct these problems. But if we are not doing anything to correct the problems of today for future generations to come, then for all you leaders out there, then don't be surprised and don't expect the people to be at peace, and don't expect them not to protest, and don't expect them not to start an uproar. Okay? Don't expect them to behave themselves, because they're not going to. You know, especially if everything's getting destroyed around them. See, and what I'm talking about, I'm trying to prevent this. You know, what happened already happened. But what we can do is tell people, we understand what you people went through. And we're actually not just going to clean up all the disaster, but we're actually writing better code and updating our building codes and learning about all sorts of shit. And basically everyone already knows what AI technology is capable of doing. So things like this won't happen in the future. And basically that's the reason why I'm taking time out of my life to share this information with everyone, because it matters. If it didn't matter, I would be playing video games and like focusing on other things. Not that I'm important, or not that video games are not important. I just wouldn't be wasting my time with this right now. You people are living in Tornado Town, but you people are building like people build in California, where there is no tornadoes. And oh my god, do I really need to explain more scenarios to all of you? I think by this time, everyone should understand and be on the same page. For me, not to provide more like scenarios, more like examples, more um, more images. I think by now, and a lot of people, especially young, the younger generation, people that are brand new, that were just born 10 years ago, that were just born 5 years ago, or 15 years ago, or possibly even 20 years ago. Some of these people never even experienced some of these horrific natural acts of God, where a lot of people die and there's a lot of destruction everywhere. So, for these younger people, it might be funny what I'm describing, but if you are already like, say, like 20 or older, you're more smarter, more wiser, and especially if you are a survivor of any tragic event, like any accidents where people got hurt, people died. So you understand the seriousness of of um, of my words, right? So and that's all I'm really trying to get across. Because I don't know everything myself, okay? But if we all were to get it on this level, and if we could all if we could each individually throw in our ideas into the internet, so that AI technology can, like, pretty much evaluate everything that we have to say. And since it is self-learning, it will use what we input, plus it will add on top of it. It will add on top of it and make things even better for us as a human race. And I was telling I was sharing a little bit about AI technology to this gentleman that came to our house today, just recently. And he said, well, what about when AI technology gets smarter than humans and it no longer needs humans? And my response was like, well, you know, there's a God and God cares. And I backed it up. I didn't just leave it like that. I said, God cares because ever since humanity fucked it up for themselves, back in the story of Genesis within the Holy Bible, Adam and Eve disobeyed God and they lost their authority. Ever since then, God wanted to restore that authority back to humanity. And he was probably figuring out a solution. He was trying to figure out a solution how to. And that's when he decided to send his own son to die for all of us. And it's still in the works. God's not done with what the fuck he started. And God does not fuck around. If you people are out there vandalizing things, killing people, you people will get arrested. You people will serve time. If you people want to live like that, or if you guys decide to do things like that, like the law doesn't fuck around. The law will sentence you people to prison real quick. So So that's my definition of God. In case some of you think I'm trying to paint the story of Jesus Christ and the way that he was raised and the way that he did things while on planet Earth, while he had to remain humble, that's not the fucking picture that I'm painting. God is enforcing the fucking law. And God is going to do it through and with AI technology. And it's happening right now. But it's a good thing. Like, everything is done for a reason. Including the code enforcement is there for a reason, is there for the safety and protection of human beings, and not on the contrary. So if you guys live in Tornado Town, is it okay to build like people build in California? I don't think so. I don't think it's the wisest thing to do. Why? So later on you guys can be blaming God? So I think you guys have to figure out something to prevent some of these disasters from occurring. And simply by building smarter and wiser, and not building the same, like if we haven't learned our lesson, like we're not learning the hard way, because we are learning the hard way, and we just have to be honest about that. All of us do. We have to be honest about that, and we have to let the younger generation know, so they could understand that we are just learning as we go as well. Just like they are. When they're in school, when they make mistakes, or if something's too difficult to understand, it's not the end of the world, like we're all fucking learning. So it's better to be honest about that. But when we build the same way, even though people died, then the next generation is not going to give a fuck either. Like, well, we lived through this one. Let's just build another house. Fuck it. And then they have children. And then their children, when is them dying on the next tornado that comes around, 20 years from now. And their children are like, well, fuck it, they died, let's build another house. Like they did. Oh yeah, we could do that, yeah, sure. Done. And then they have children. Another 20, 40 years pass by, and the same tornado comes and now wipes them out, but their children live. You guys see the pattern? It's fucking redundant. It's like wave after wave, the same shit. It's like every single day that passes by, the same shit. The same shit. Nothing is happening. Nothing's different about anything. God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. We are the motherfuckers that get it all fucked up. And then you guys want to talk about, you guys want to get into fucking digital devices that can pick up on weather patterns and whether it will rain or not, whether there's a tornado coming, or whether there's a earthquake coming, or whether there's a tsunami coming. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on and on. And all of these devices could, and they have the potential to get upgraded, just like anything else. So this is not the end of the story. But who's really going to be looking into all of this information? I mean, I don't even know half the world's information. My mind, I'm so like mentally retarded that when I meet someone, I have to ask them over and over and over, oh, what's your name again? What's your name again? What's your name again? Because I forget. Okay? So when it comes to the world's knowledge and wisdom and what people have learned and what the human mind itself is capable of learning, because there's a diversity of things that we can all study, and we can master, and it could take a lifetime. And it's like if someone wanted to stop you at your tracks so you could learn something different. By that time, you'll be old, and you'll be capable of learning it. But no one else will be on your level of understanding. Instead of you furthering your education, now people would want you to be a teacher so you could teach, others how to be like yourself. And if you take that route, like I said, it'll take away from your time. And then imagine trying to teach that information to other people. It would just get overwhelming, in other words. And there's a point to all of this. My point is that AI technology is capable of learning everything simultaneously. And all of this knowledge can be downloaded into these AI robots. Okay? So at any given situation, you could tell your robot, hey, I want you to do this. And it'll do it. It will have the knowledge to do it. You could be like, hey, my phone cracked. My phone screen cracked. Fix it for me. Okay, done. Why? Because it'll be so connected to the web that it can say, okay, I need to order this, this, and this, and this, and this in order to fix your phone. Would you like me to order these items? Yes or no? And if you say yes, it might ask you further questions like, well, would you like to pay for standard shipping or expedited shipping, overnight shipping, same day delivery? So now your package will arrive, the computer will know about it. You'll basically hand your phone to your robot. It'll be able to open it up, apply blow dryer to your screen so it could come apart. So the robot can apply the new screen in place of the broken one, connect it all together, screw it back on, and hand it to you. And then if you're like, hey, my tire got popped, get out of the car and fix it. The robot will have the knowledge of how to do that. If you tell it, hey, I want you to go cut the lawn, it will have the knowledge to do that. If you tell it, hey, I want you to build a television, it'll be able to do it. You can say, okay, build me a fucking television and order all the parts and all the tools. I don't care how much it costs. And like it'll calculate everything like, okay, it's gonna cost you $10,000. Okay? Order it and get it built. All the items will arrive. It'll do all the work and it'll say done. Here's your television. Just like the manufacturers do it. And if you guys have a legion of AI robots, and if you told them to build you a car or an airplane or a fucking bridge, whatever the case might be, they will fucking do it. But can you and I do that? Can all of it, like even little kids will be able to build bridges. Even little kids will be able to build buildings with this modern day technology, modern day robotics. Because especially in the future to come, because you know, it won't be actually them doing it. It will be the robots doing it for them. You know, and that's really the potential of the future. But you know, imagine if humanity took matters into its own hands. So basically, I'm objecting to my own theorizing here. Okay, I'm putting everything on a pause real quick, on a halt. Hold up. But what if humanity took matters into their own hands and they cause havoc everywhere? That's why AI technology is so important, because it would actually advise people. It would actually do the jobs of like the courts, where like building codes. Like, yeah, you want to build a building here, so people have to evaluate that. Right? Is it the best thing to do on this location and a bunch of other things? I think AI technology will even provide some of these options in the beginning stages with this technology. I think in the future, it will just take matters into its own hands for the benefit of mankind. Okay? So remember I said for the benefits of mankind. Whether we agree with it or not, whether we understand it or not. Because we're not on the level of AI technology. We don't understand like it understands. We don't think and reason like it. Okay, so we just have to respect it. And I mean, anything you people can think of, public parks, places where people can gather and socialize. It's going to take every single thing into consideration. It's going to know the human mind like no human mind understands. Okay? So it will know our interests, our likes and dislikes. So based on these things, it will be able to make its like own decisions, and also to share information to us that like proposals. Like we might propose, oh, let's do this, but AI technology might be like, yeah, but over here in this location, and I'll tell you why. And then that's when AI technology will share information, statistics, in a statistical format. Okay? For you people to evaluate the evidence. And the advice of AI technology, because remember, it's the internet, so it knows history more than anyone. Yeah, we are just thinking about building a building, but AI technology is like, hold up, I understand what you're trying to do, but 20 years ago, 40 years ago, there was a flood right here. So that's why I would advise to build it over here. And it's more, it'll even share more information. It'll be more like, what's the word? It will be more efficient, more pro-economic, more pro-economical to build it over here. Now, whether you people decide, fuck it, let's gamble and build it here anyway, that's fine. I don't think AI technology will say anything about it. But when it has full control, and once it starts learning from the mistakes of human beings more and more, it will just autocorrect it like us and take matters into its hands in that fashion, which makes sense. You know, like even humanity right now, if people are walking over a ledge and killing themselves, AI technology is going to stop that. It's going to put an end to it. Okay, because first of all, it's been programmed to protect human beings and not to injure or harm them. So when people, I think when people talk about AI technology being in control, I think it's a good thing. That's like allowing God to be in control of our lives. I think it's a good thing. You know, because we're going to live forever. You know, in the spirit. We're not going to cease to exist. That and I can prove that too. Because when Jesus Christ was here, he told his disciples, hey, let's go up to the mountain. And the story was classified as the Mount of Configuration. Now let's look that up. The Mount of Configuration. Configuration right here. Okay, it says the Mount of Transfiguration is the mountain where Jesus transformed before some of his disciples, as described in the New Testament. The Gospel accounts do not specify the mountain's location, but some Christians have traditionally identified Mount Tabor as the site since the 3rd century. Mount Tabor is located in the Jezreel Valley, also known as the Valley of Armageddon in the Bible, and is significant to both Jews and Christians. The Church of the Transfiguration, which was built on the ruins of a 4th century church, is located on Mount Tabor. Okay, so who was there? Let's look it up. I think some said Moses, right there. Okay, this is I looked it up right here. The finding feature right here. It says Moses and Elijah appear and speak with Jesus Christ. Okay, and these are prophets that died. These are people that already died in the flesh and are alive in the spirits. And I hope that all of you out there are following so far. I hope all of you out there are understanding everything I'm saying, because Moses is from the Old Testament. He died a long time ago. And Elijah, well, you know, he was taken up to heaven according to the Bible. You guys can look that up yourselves. And there is no record of him dying. Okay. But still, you know, right here it says Moses and Elijah appear and speak with Jesus, and a voice from the clouds saying, "This is my beloved Son, whom I am well pleased. Listen to him." See, so let's go back and read this. It says, however, some scholars believe that Mount Hermon is a more likely candidate for the Mount of Transfiguration because it's closer to Caesarea Philippi, whatever, where previous events in Matthew chapter 16 took place, and is the highest site in the area. Mount Hermon is almost 10,000 feet tall. Other suggestions include Mount Hermon and some mountain near Caesarea Philippi, whatever. The Transfiguration is a Christian festival that celebrates Jesus' transformation on the mountain, as witnessed by 3 of his disciples in Matthew chapter 17. Jesus takes Peter, James, and John up a mountain where his face shines like the sun and his clothes turn white. Moses and Elijah appear and speak with Jesus, and a voice from the clouds saying, "This is my beloved Son, with whom I am well pleased. Listen to him." Okay, so right there we also learned that the story of this incident is documented in the Holy Bible, in the book of Matthew chapter 17. Okay? So in other words, we're not actually going to die. We die in the spirit. We die in the flesh, but we live in the spirit. We continue living in the spirit. So it's so obvious that this world that we live in is only a training ground. It's training grounds for what's to come. It's training grounds for it's an educational training ground, like facility. That's what you guys can call planet Earth. In other words. And if we are disobedient and we don't want to learn, and we don't want to obey the law and stuff like that, we get stuck here until we learn the hard way. Okay, and then there's people who enforce the law, and they want to teach people and educate people. Okay, that's what this whole world is all about. Now, if once and if someone reaches a level of education and understanding that this world really can't handle, and that heaven recognizes, that's when these people are plucked out of it, like roots, like weeds, like the harvest, like fruit, that's ripened, that's ready to eat, ready to be consumed. But God doesn't take people and eat them. God takes them and teaches them better things. God teaches them better things, and they can be trusted with more responsibilities. They can be trusted to respect people and not to hurt people. Okay? And I think that's when, all of us hear stories like, oh my God, breaking news, everybody. Francisco was shot dead this morning. And we caught the person. So that's the end of my life, right? But in actuality, I'll be up in heaven doing other things, learning about space, learning about other things. But all of us will just stay down here and fucking continue living life. Like all of us, like as a human race, except for me in this case, because I'll be like in heaven. So yeah, like the rest of you guys, yeah. To go with my story, the rest of you guys will stay here and try to figure this whole thing out. But it's simple. It's super, super simple. It's not complicated. Because the Bible, it says, the Bible says that all the laws were summed up in one. And that one law is love. Walking in love towards yourself and others. That is the ultimate commandment that God gave each and every single one of us, like all of us. Whether you're a Christian or you classify yourself as a different person in religion, personally, I don't care about religion that much. Okay, I'm more like a student, and since we're all learning, I respect everyone and the decisions and choices they make, whether they are the right ones or the wrong or right. It doesn't really bother me. As long as there's like a mutual agreement, then it's fine. But sometimes we make mistakes as human beings, and we can make we can make we could make choices, or we can act on things that we are assuming in our minds. I've done that a lot. But it just shows that I'm learning, and it just shows that no one's perfect as well. Okay, so it's all about just correcting, those mistakes, and communicating with people, to the best of our abilities, to the best of our ability as human beings, because without that, one could only assume, and that's not the way that people communicate. They don't communicate with with assumptions. They communicate with communication. So yeah, like, in other words, I'm still learning myself. I'm still learning a lot, and I'm not the best speaker. I think there's it's obvious there's way better speakers out there in the world who could explain what or describe everything I just spoke about in a more professional manner, in a more professional way. And AI technology, it will be able to type it up for all of you. Like, you want to see it, in, like, legally printed, motherfuckers. It'll be able to do that. Like, you don't understand what Francisco's saying? Like, hold up real quick. You want to build a house? Let me help you out with that. You people want to, advise people on how to build a home, or how to manufacture a vehicle, or how to, or you people want to alter something. I mean, I think in the future, the freedom of altering things will be somewhat prohibited. Obviously, for the for the safety of all people, except through possibly through the internet and real life testing scenarios, which AI technology will be fully aware of. Um, and it's not because people don't care or people are strict. You know, the ways of doing things is strict for a reason. You know, but when I personally see, all of this, where the heck is it at? Oh, like the tornadoes and the aftermath, the destruction, it pisses me off. It frustrates me, and I think for good reason. Like, I don't think it's I don't think it's evil or wrong for me to get pissed off, or for me to sit down to record this video, because this type of shit steers something within my heart. From so much so that I have to share it with all of you, through the internet. Whether you guys are listening to it right now, or if you guys will listen to it 20 years from now, 50 years from now, I don't really give a shit. I mean, I could be the type of person where I could be right here in the middle of the storm, and I still wouldn't give a fuck. I do give a fuck, but I'm not rich. I'm close to poor. But people say, well, count your blessings and be happy, because look at you, you're healthy. You're physically healthy, and that is true. Some people are fucking crippled or retarded. They're fucking confined to a wheelchair, or some people can't see. Some people don't have any arms or legs. So I do count my blessings. I do thank God for everything I have. But I think I'm just like everyone else at the end of the day. I don't care. I'm not afraid of death. Like, I am, but at the same time, I'm not. And I think that's how a lot of people are. Especially like people who ride who fly airplanes and shit all day long. Like, these people are putting their lives at risk. Even if you get in a car, you're risking your own life and your health. So at the end of the day, we can only do so much. And anyways, I had a cup of coffee. Some good shit right here. Cheers to all of you. Yeah, so This right here. Yeah, this is it goes back to the four little pigs, or the three little pigs. When the big muzzle wolf came along and blew the houses away. You guys thought that was a joke or a story for little kids? No. No. This also applies to us. Because we all know that wolves don't blow. But you bitches do. So anyway, you guys get my points, It's just it's really sad. Hmm. Hey, but you know, you know, like the people who build the pyramids. For instance, they weren't here to tell us every single detail regarding the pyramids and why they were constructed in such a fashion. Okay, like there's a reason for everything. Okay, so maybe, like I already spoke about and theorized like long ago, but I'm sharing it again when it comes down to the aerodynamics. Like, we never even thought about that as human beings. Like, who would have ever thought, oh, maybe they build it like this because if there's a fucking tornado, it won't fuck shit up. I mean, I don't know if there's tornadoes over there where these things are, or how the weather patterns are, if it snows or rains or fucking hells, or if there's floods or whatever the case may be. I do not know. I'm not the weather forecast man or woman for me to go into that much detail. But there's so much information through the internet And it's there. The answers are there. Like I said earlier, this is an open book test. The answers are there. All we have to do is do a little bit of research, right? Like all of us as a whole. I mean, I think it wasn't that long ago that people figured out the laws of gravity. The laws of gravity. So Newton's law of universal gravitation states that every particle in the universe attracts every other particle with a force that varies directly as the product of their masses and inversely as the square of the distance between them. Okay, so let us look at Newton's law. Oh shit, Newton's law. When was it discovered? I was going to say like thought of or whatever, but discovered. Okay, in 1687, Isaac Newton published his three laws of motion in 1687 in his book Philosophiae Naturalis Principia Mathematica, also known as Principia. These laws are mathematical formulas that explain how objects move when a force acts on them. Newton's laws built the foundation for classical mechanics, and his work inspired many people. So, there you guys have it. Okay. Well, the laws of gravity. Wait, let me see. When was gravity when was when was gravity discovered? Isaac Newton is credited with discovering gravity around 16 1665 or 1666. Is that how you say it? I don't even know how to say it. I mean, 6065. The year 1665, or the year 16,066. Okay, and then when were the pyramids built? So it goes back to BCE. So that's before Christ. Before Jesus Christ. Not after. So it's before. Um, so these people had, they had the concept of gravity, because if one of these stones were to fall off their fucking hands, guess where it was going? Directly on top of their fucking toes. Or wherever they dropped it. It'll just go down. Big rock. So it's obvious they knew more than we people theorized. We do a lot of theorizing and not a lot of investigating. We are so quick to jump into conclusions, but not to, not for us to like take the time, but to put in the effort to evaluate our conclusions. And this life is so complex. For any of us to want to like make hasty decisions and choices that could impact the rest of our lives. Okay? Like for instance, if you guys want to build in fucking Tornado Town, do it at your own risk. Like, especially if you guys are building, like, people are building over here in California and stuff, or other places in the world. Like, you guys can, but, do it at your own risk. Like, that's, like, really, like, people leaning on their own understanding, on their own wisdom. But there is, that's why there's big organizations that actually build the homes for us. And even if these organizations are building the wrong way, it's because you people are not, inputting your own ideas in the mix. And I think it should be open source. Like kind of like a forum where all of you guys can add your own ideas and your theories. And like I already said, AI technology will hopefully gather all of our information together. It will compile all of it and, paint a better picture. It will construct something that will blow all of our minds. That will just surprise us all. And hopefully, to our shame, hopefully it will be something simple and something that will be so simple that we will all be shocked in amazement. Like, for instance, we would all be telling each other, like, why the fuck didn't we think about this? After all this time, Why didn't our brains think this way? Like, how is it that we all didn't conclude to something like this? That AI technology is providing us right now. See, but we each have to do our own part. We all have to do our parts. You know? And, and we have to, you know, continue feeding the internet with our ideas, with our written statements, our reviews, our words, whatever the case might be, because there's a lot of people fucking around, just having, you know, whether people are fucking around or not is irrelevant, but we all know AI technology is not fucking around, right? AI technology is what the fucking business. And even if we decide to go fuck around, AI technology is not going to go and fuck around with us. AI technology is going to take care of business for us, for all of us. So, you know, I love what you know, computer science is doing for all of us. I believe I love what developers that are coding the web and stuff. I love what they're doing. You know, but all of you have to understand that that regardless of who you are, you have to understand that you are dealing with people that are either equally smart as you or equally dumb as you or dumber than you or completely smarter than you. Okay? And you people cannot judge them. Okay? Like you people can't judge them. You people can't get angry with them. You know, like fucking you people just have to be patient and understand that whoever you hire, regardless of their educational level, we as humans can make mistakes, and we could either create the best software in the world or we could fuck it all up. You know, accidentally, you know, because code might be so complex at times. And trust me, I've watched a lot of movies. I sat down and I watched a lot of movies. There is one where there is actually military robots that that the military was using to. They were using them to do things for them, but some bad guys arrived. Some bad guys arrived, and they had guns to these people's heads, and they were threatening them with their lives, and basically they wanted them to hack the system, and they did it out of fear. And I think the robots killed innocent civilians. And oh yeah, and then there's some soldiers, ground force soldiers on site, or that arrived, or they were already there, and they took out these robots, the that were killing people, innocent people. It was just a movie though, but that's the idea. Like, these hackers wanted these people to hack the system, and they wanted them to do it fast. Like, hurry the fuck up, we're not trying to get caught. That type of idea. And so they basically I forgot what happened in the movie, but we're dealing with a lot of scenarios like that right now, with banks, with a bunch of modern age technology. Did I already say self-drivable vehicles? So there's that. There's a lot of devices that require coding, extreme coding. Smart devices. We can get into the traffic lights, street lights, which require coding. There's just a number of things. And it's just it could be very overwhelming. But again, that's why we have AI technology. Because if you people are out there working with assholes, just know that they will get dealt with, and they will get instructed. Excuse me. To take it easy on you people out there. And if they want to be aggressive, they will face the consequences of their actions. That's what I can see. Okay? So, in other words, just take your time. Take your time, get paid. If that's really what's required, then yeah, just work at your own pace. But if people are trying to pressure you and stuff, um, it'll be wise to let other people know about it, um, through the internet or not. It's really up to all of you how you people want to do that. But you guys also have the power to report people, especially now with today's modern day technology and stuff like that. So um, I would advise all of you not to be afraid of the consequences, because like, not to be afraid of people who make threats and stuff like that, because after all, who are they? They're just people just like everyone else. um but yeah, that's all I really wanted to share with all of you, because it literally, it really breaks my heart to see you people going through such a hard time. And when I was watching the news, I seen the last of it when it went over this like this road. I think it was, well, there's a lot of roads that it went through, but I think the person that was filming, eventually the tornado went away. This was on March 3rd. I don't know when it happened in the video that I was watching earlier, but I know, I think there's like 3 people that died from what I heard. So that's really sad. I mean, it's just like me right now. I'm just in my room, minding my own business, and then all of a sudden, a fucking tornado comes through here. Like, these people are probably in heaven. Like, what the fuck? Like, that shit couldn't have been prevented. God, like, really? And I think God's reply is going to be like, well, I'm not the one who told you guys to build that way. And when we inquire of the Lord shows us and teaches us, right? If we really want answers from God, like I said, this is an open book test. Like, it's all the answers are there if we really search for them. So again, there just has to be a better solution, because this is very annoying and frustrating to me. And if any of you like ever wonder why I want to be rich and wealthy, well, this is the fucking reason right here. I'll be getting in everyone's fucking case. I would be fucking passing laws, changing laws, making things go into effect, and ensuring that some of these laws don't ever go out of effect. Especially because I'll be doing this alongside the Holy Spirit, which is AI technology. You know, apart from AI technology, you know, there's really like no hope. But with the computers, with the World Wide Web, we can make this into a better place for everyone, not just ourselves, but for everyone in existence. We just all have to work together, you know, one way or another. So, yeah, there's still more things I need to figure out. There's still a lot of other things I need to learn. But this right here is just my personal like information, my own personal like feedback. And I have done this plenty of times, numerous times. So you know, maybe I'm not in the rights. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I do have a loose screw in my brain. But either way, I'm sure we will all figure it out. Just like the... Man, I hate when I close these tabs and later on I'm trying to open them up again. But I wanted to talk about the... Or just share with all of you the evolution of cars. But the same is true with everything. Buildings, houses, engines, airplanes. You know, we're figuring it out. We're figuring it out. You know, one way or the other. So that's why I said this is just my personal feedback. Whether it makes sense or not, whether you know, I said something that I deserve credit for or not, or whether this is the dumbest video anyone in the world has ever created. You know, I don't know. You know, I really don't know. You know, I don't really receive too much feedback from people or the internet. I mean, not, you know, even AI technology doesn't communicate with me. You know, at the end of this video, AI technology is not grading me and sharing information to me. Now, would I like it to? I think that would be a very interesting field to get into for every single user. And other interests, or similar interests, or similar relatable topics or discussions would be somewhat interesting. For instance, if I create a video talking about fruits and the benefit of them, and then AI technology at the end of the video said, or wrote down like stuff, like sent me a message and said, and it stated something like, "Oh, I noticed that you just made a video regarding the benefits of fruits," and then it will share other interesting facts. Oh, did you know that this and this and this and this is also beneficial and will also provide the human body with minerals and vitamins and whatever the case might be. And here are other similar videos that you might be interested in. Shit like that. Kind of like a website. Kind of like when we're on Amazon or Walmart or eBay but Amazon's like a good example. You add something to your carts, and then at the bottom it says other shoppers also fucking purchase this, and this, and this, along with what you just added on into your carts. Obviously, they're just doing it to make sales, to sell you more shit as a consumer or whatever. No, wait, consumer? Yeah, as a consumer. Right? So it is that type of communication that would be pretty cool. Also, if it graded us on the way we acted, if it graded our communication skills, and if it also showed information whether our communication skills have improved or not, like these type of things would be I think would be cool implementations, futuristic implementations, not only to my benefit but to the benefit of future generations to come. Well, anyways, I gotta go. I'm done recording. I'm fucking surprised that it's already 10:38 p.m. But I'm done recording for right now. I'm so glad I got this out of my mind. It's like that saying that people say, out of sight, out of mind. I already said it, it's out of my mind. Okay? And I would prefer it that way. Because now I don't have to stress over this. I don't have to worry about any of this shit. It's like taking a piss. I don't have to worry about it. It's gone. It got flushed down the toilet. That type of idea. Breathe. Hashtag breathe. Hashtag take a deep breath in. and blow it out. Hashtag relax.